The Main Card presents episode 9, and thank you so much for clicking on to this podcast, this show. This is The Main Card, of course, with your host, Seda, the Chosen King. And so far, it's been a really, really great time for me to bring you guys the show. And I hope that everyone who's been clicking on the YouTube links and, of course, giving it a listen, giving it a try, and enjoying it. I hope that you have been enjoying it, if I put it that way. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the show, and I hope that with everything that I've been doing, you guys are satisfied. Of course, if you have any comments that you want to put through, if you have any suggestions, if you have any critique, please feel free. Okay, it's been a very long day, but please feel free to, of course, leave a comment in the comment section, of course. And if you like the video, please do make sure you like the video, or the audio in this instance, like the audio clip, like the video clip right there, and so that I may carry on bringing you guys this show. It is an absolute pleasure for me to do this. Actually, I enjoy it a lot, and I hope you guys also enjoy listening to the Main Card podcast, to the Main Card show. See, I'm resisting so much calling it a podcast, but since, of course, it is in the format that it is a podcast after all, but it is a show. So I'm just still trying to decide, should I call it the Main Card show or the Main Card podcast? That's still going to be decided sometime towards in the near future. But for this episode, for episode 9, of course, we are fresh off the heels of WWE Hell in a Cell. And of course, I did a Hell in a Cell review of sorts of some of the matches, 3 of the matches that took part. The ones that I felt stole the show, and the one that stole the show the most, of course, was the one that was unanimous all around the world, and that was the New Day versus the Usos for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But now, I don't want to talk about Hell in a Cell, but what I do want to talk about is a superstar who just won his first championship at Hell in a Cell. And here's the funny thing about this. I actually did a podcast, a recording of the show centered around this same topic of this same superstar, but I didn't upload it as yet. And then he went and won a championship at Hell in a Cell. And then what happened after that was that the WWE did something which I understood why they did it, and it was very smart. They did something that was actually a very good move. So, before I get into that, I just want to introduce to everyone that who I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about Baron Corbin, and not talking about Baron Corbin specifically in that manner, but talking about his theme song, his entrance song that has been released by the WWE, the new one, of course, the one now that has the lyrics. Because if you remember, Baron Corbin had a new theme song which was called New Rules, which was debuted a few months back, if I'm not mistaken. And but that one was just a version which had no vocals. And then recently, we had a version of the song that was debuted on SmackDown Live, and it had vocals on it. And what had happened was that there was no version of the song that was released for us to buy or stream. So that song wasn't released. The version of the song that had the vocals was not released up until after Baron Corbin won the WWE United States Championship at Hell in a Cell. Then all of a sudden, the version of the song with the vocals popped up for streaming, and it popped up obviously for buying as well. So a very smart move from the WWE. It's understandable as to why they did that, and I have no qualms or reservations about that. So what I do want to talk about is the song itself, the new entrance theme for Baron Corbin, which is I Bring the Darkness, and it has in brackets the end of days, and it features Tommy Vexed. That's what they call it here, featuring Tommy Vexed. So I'm assuming it's the CFOs featuring Tommy Vexed. I Bring the Darkness, the end of days. Now, what I wanted to say about this song, and I touched on it in the previous recorded podcast, which wasn't released, so I want to touch on it now. This version of this theme song is actually a perfect fit for Baron Corbin. It was already a perfect fit even before it had vocals. And I said that because of the fact that it just worked for him, and it just worked for his character. Because now you have a theme song removed from the first theme song, Superhuman, where it had the motorcycle beginning, and then it had that heavy metal, all throughout. But then you have this one, which is very similar, but then the beginning is different in the sense that you have sort of a choir beginning. They just have that eerie choir beginning, and then you have that heavy metal as well, which carries on throughout the song. It just fits him as well. It just fits the lone wolf. It just fits the badass character that Baron Corbin portrays and the badass character that he is. But now that you add the vocals onto it, it adds another element to it, in the sense that if you try to interpret what these vocals mean, and if you actually look at the character that is Baron Corbin, even if you trace it back now to the first theme song, it's very interesting, and here's why. The first theme song, if you remember, Baron Corbin had, whenever he came out with it on SmackDown Live, you had the graphic that appeared on the Titantron, and then he comes out, the lights dim, it goes dark, and then they go red. Each spotlight that he walks through, it goes red, and then the lights come on. But then after the lights come on, when the song beat drops, you see that there's a city in the background on the Titantron as well as on the stage, and then you have this darkness that follows, that engulfs the entire city, and it just follows Baron Corbin, giving the impression that he brings this darkness wherever he goes, and this darkness, this bad character that he is, just brings this darkness to wherever he goes, and it just engulfs everything. So that appeared first on the Titantron when he had the first theme song. Now you have this one over here. And if you actually listen to the lyrics of the song much closely, because they are available on the WWE Music YouTube channel, and it has, of course, this is where I first started streaming the song. You just search for Baron Corbin, I Bring the Darkness, and then you just go over there to the description of the song, and then you just click on show more, and then you will just get the lyrics right there at the bottom, of course, after all the links of the WWE Music as well as Tommy Vexed. The lyrics, when they start in the song, they say, "Who do you think you are? You've now gone too far." So that's the first bit that you hear on the song before the beat drops, of course. But then the chorus is my favorite part, honestly, where it says, "I bring the darkness, I am the thunder. I come from hell and I'll pull you under. I'll make you feel the wrath of my ways. I'll make it real. I'll bring you end of days." Now, I bring the darkness. Picture the darkness that you kept seeing on the Titantron, covering that entire city graphic as well as the stage. Picture what I just said right now about Baron Corbin, how he comes in and he just brings that darkness because of the fact that he's such a badass character. Now, what happens on the Titantron now, at first I didn't get it, but now after I read these lyrics, I get it. Because what happens on the Titantron when the song comes on, you have the Lone Wolf logo, if I can call it the logo. You have the Lone Wolf logo that appears on the Titantron, but then it's on fire. And then the entire Titantron and the entire stage catches fire. It catches a fire. And then what happens is that this fire, I think, represents the hell that he comes from and the hell that is going to pull you under. Yeah, right. And when he says, "I'll make you feel the wrath of my ways, I'll make you real, I'll bring you end of days," that's tantamount to him in the ring. That's him, how he will, in actual fact, bring you that pain that he brings you out and about every single time. So it fits perfectly to him. It fits perfectly to Baron Corbin, the lone wolf. It fits perfectly to Baron Corbin, the badass, the character that he is. And I like the fire that goes onto the wolf, because now you have to consider that the guardian of the underworld, the guardian of the gates, is in fact a three-headed, I'm going to call it a dog. It's a three-headed dog, but nonetheless, it's a hound creature, right? And the wolf falls into that family. So now imagine this wolf, in a way, said to be the guardian of hell. But then in Baron Corbin's case, it is not necessarily the guardian, but then he's the one who will literally drag you down to hell. He will pull you down to hell, because that is where he comes from, in a way, according to this song. So it just fits that lone wolf character so well, in my opinion. And I think that's why this song is going to serve him very well in the long run. And I think this song is going to serve him as well when or if he ever becomes a babyface, in the sense that it is a very, very, very nice song. And it's very well put together. And it's that kind of song that I feel works for both a heel and a babyface. It works for both because the track itself is very nice to listen to, and it's a very nice sounding song. Even in the arena, when that song hits, you will pay attention to the song, because sometimes you get an instance where you might not like the superstar that's about to come out, but just because of their song, you're going to pay attention to them. You're going to pay attention just because of their song, and it's amazing how that happens. So I think because of this song that fits Baron Corbin so well, people are going to start paying more attention now to Baron Corbin. Those who weren't already paying attention. Because, I mean, I was already paying attention for a while. And then this song just dropped, and I loved it so much, you know. And I think a lot of people feel the exact same way. And I do know that there was a comment on the YouTube channel for the WWE Music. It actually echoed exactly what I said, where it's a perfect fit for his character. And in a few months, it'll easily replace the impact of his old theme. We are going to be able to identify Baron Corbin now with just this theme and nothing else. Same thing that happened to Randy Orton when he changed his song from Burn My Light to Voices. You can't picture Randy Orton now without the current theme that he has. John Cena as well, when he changed to My Time Is Now from the Basic Thugonomics. Though you might be able to, but you don't see Cena without this track. My Time Is Now. That's the one we know him from. The best case that I can give is CM Punk, when he changed from The Fire Burns all the way up until Cult of Personality. Now, that song is literally synonymous with CM Punk wherever it is that you might hear it. You cannot picture CM Punk without that song, and you cannot picture that song without CM Punk. So I think Baron Corbin is going to get to a point where this song, I Bring the Darkness, The End of Days, featuring Tommy Vext, of course, is going to be literally identified with him, and it's going to be his song, and it's going to stick to him. When he reaches that status, when is that established, when he reaches that superstar status where people are like, they just accept Baron Corbin and he's very much over with the crowd, this song is going to be very key going forward. So hats off to the WWE Music Group for coming up with this song. Hats off to the CFOs, and hats off to Tommy Vext, of course, for the vocals. I absolutely love the song, and I gotta say, if I had a sort of a WWE music top 10 list of sorts, or top 10 countdown like they do in radio, if I was to have like a top 3, my number one song was the Phenomenal, the theme song for AJ Styles, and it was my number one for a very long time this year. This song, I Bring the Darkness, for Baron Corbin, has literally taken that number one spot. So far, this, I think, personally for me, I think this song, this entrance theme right here, is the top entrance theme in the WWE today. Followed by Phenomenal for AJ Styles, and followed by Done With That, the Day One remix from the Usos. That's just my opinion, of course. But hey, you're welcome to have your own. That's why they're called opinions. Everyone has one. So, hats off to the WWE Music Group, and hats off to the WWE for making a smart business move to release this track right after Baron Corbin won the United States Championship, because now, oh man, people can't help but stream it so much. And I've been streaming it. It says here that it was published on the 4th of October, but I highly doubt that, because I couldn't find it when I was looking for it here on YouTube. So Baron Corbin's new theme song, definitely a piece of a puzzle that fits very well for Baron Corbin, because now when it comes to putting together the character that is Baron Corbin and making sure that he goes over with the fans in the long run, this song has completed that piece of that puzzle. Now I'll move on to other pieces, but the song, they have it now on lockdown. They don't have to touch that anymore. That's done. Song is done. Baron Corbin, he brings the darkness and the end of days.